Session. I'm showing 6:32. The established quorum will show Rich Slaney is absent for tonight. Go ahead and stand with me for the Pledge of Allegiance if you would. Salute and begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Little lights.
Yeah, well, abandoned. Feel like no action taken to report from open session. Do I have a motion to accept the agenda?
I move we accept the agenda.
Thank you, John. Thank you, Claudia. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Subject number 4, which is our public comments time period. There is a limit of 5 minutes per person. This is an opportunity for the members of the public to speak to the board on any matter within the subject matter jurisdiction of the board that is not already on the agenda. The board will not be able to take action or make formal comment on such matters at this meeting. Any members of the public to make comments? Thank you.
We ask you to stand up at the podium and identify yourself, please.
Right there on First Street on the other side of the Methodist Church. And I don't know who decided this, but I want to thank you for turning the sign off for the sign.
All right. Thank you. Here's just 1 second. I have a follow-up. Do we use that on all?
Hi, my name is Irene Whitford. I work as the environment director for the South Valley Band of Home Indians. And my sister was telling me about our development of Native American Club, perhaps. So I just wanted to kind of voice my support for establishing an American Club for that group. I just want to go over some things, focus on it. Quite busy, so I just put something together real quick. Having an Indian club will provide a place for students to interact with peers and learn more about their cultural heritage and specifically about the long native history of Lake County. The club can also serve as a place for fundraising activities toward important and relevant causes, or they can start a community volunteer program to help the tribal members and others. Most importantly, it will teach them team building, communication, time management skills, follow through as they create and implement activities together. When I first went to college, my first instinct was to locate an Indian club because I knew that's where I could find other Indian students that I could culturally relate to. They taught me a lot about personal skills such as working with others, helping other peers with everyday issues, discussing school assignments, social skills, and so much more. Having an Indian club can also be positive for the students here at Upperlake High School, and I highly encourage the school board to create one. Thank you.
I take it that the Native American Club, Tribal Club was not on the agenda.
It is on the agenda, so I didn't want to caution her that way, but we will also have a discussion and open time for discussion about the club as well. Well, I appreciate your support and your comment. Thank you very much. Any other public comments? No? We'll go ahead and close for public comments. Let's move to...
And just welcome.
Thanks for being late.
That's okay.
The weather is affected. I actually came here.
Identify yourself. We all know you. You can blame the weather.
Okay. My name is Angelina Herrera, and I'm the vice chair for the Habential Pomo of Upperlake Tribe. And I'm also an Upperlake High School alumnus. And I really came because I had a conversation earlier with Wanda, and we had talked about the potential of establishing or reestablishing a Native American club.
So that's okay. I appreciate your support, and I want to make sure that it's in the right spot. we're gonna have discussion about that, about the club. So outside of the discussion for that, I'd like it if we could just hold that off and move that into that time on our agenda.
Okay.
And then you can definitely have your say. And I'm sorry, if it's a time-sensitive thing where you need to leave, then I'd love to hear
And,
about it.
and I have to actually go meet with my gaming commission at 7, and that was the only reason I wanted, I can definitely
Now would
come
be
back.
fantastic. Thank you.
And the only
10
reason,
o'clock when we get to that, so.
okay, 10 o'clock.
I'm just joking.
And I just want to share my opinion on the importance of it.
Thank you.
Having been involved with my tribe for over a decade, and seeing some of the developments that we've had and the progress we've had, and the advancement for our youth, I don't know if you're actually aware of some of the things that we're doing within our own tribe, but we're really promoting leadership, and we're promoting unity, and we're promoting community involvement. And, I do want to share with you, we've established our own youth program. We actually have our own summer program where we put forth the revenue to employ our youth in the community. We provide them life skills and leadership training. And so I think the importance of a lot of these youth coming into this school system is having that ability to unite and understand and share that experience. And even for youth that may not be Native American, but want to be a part of that club and discover about that culture and that advancement, I think our youth have a lot to bring to the table. And we've really stepped forward to put our money where our mouth is. We've invested in our kids, we've invested in this community, and we really want to make the best experience possible for them as they go through high school so that they can advance and hopefully take value in their education and their lifelong experiences as they're going through these years. And so, our tribe is fully in support of the development of that club. And when I say we're in support, I mean we're in support with revenue as well, to establish and make sure that those experiences are good experiences. So that's kind of all I want to say.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
So, thank you.
We will now move to special reports, and while we don't have any special reports, we'll move to our information and reports time, which is our hub report. A little damp, but Lori Lewis, how's the hub?
The hub is doing really well,
It's not going away.
except for we are a little down. Just where I came over with a little incident, but I hear we're getting it. Someone's coming, so we're going to take care of that. But I'm not for sure if you have a packet. If not, I'll pass one around. Sorry, I only brought one.
We have a lot. It's all right. I think it's all here.
Oh, there it is. Okay. So this year we're doing the sports physical once again, and last year we actually had over probably close to about 100 attendees for the sports physical, and it turned out to be quite an enormous event. But what was happening was that everybody was just kind of standing around waiting to be seen by the doctor, and they were blocking traffic, and it just turned into other issues. So I decided to combine the sports physical with the wellness fair at the same time, because I thought that people could come and they can get the information, and while they're waiting to be seen, we would have the wellness fair. So I put together a little packet to see, just to find out who would be interested, and I have about 15 vendors who would be interested in participating in the fair. And the date of the event would be July 22nd, and the time of the event would be 5 to 8. I have 7 who have donated 3 doctors in their time for free. We asked for a $5 donation for the sports physical instead of the normal $17 or $22. This $5 donations will be donated to the Sutter doctors who are doing the work, and they, in return, are going to donate that to a charity of their choice. So it's kind of a win-win all the way around. The sports player, the target audience obviously is sports players, families, local community members, local business. The message that we want to create is celebrate wellness at the hub. This event invites local vendors, organizations to share their products and services related to the 5 pillars of wellness, which is emotional, environmental, mental, physical, and social. So a couple of the things that we are hoping to get out of this is an objective to pull the community to what interests them in health and wellness to help bridge that gap and identify whatever the issues in the community, and then to introduce to the community the health and wellness resources that are in the area. So just kind of even just bringing everybody more closer together. And then we're also going to hope to introduce the vendors to things such as organic food store services and things that will simplify their lives. So we've gotten a couple of people in the area to donate some things of that nature. And then also to bring in the local doctors to perform the health screening for the sports physical, blood pressure, and cholesterol, but also introducing the local doctors to the people that are here so that they understand who they can see, and it's a chance to meet them on a one-on-one basis. And just motivate the community to make lifestyle changes. So,
Is this in the newspaper also?
I'm sorry?
How do you put this in the newspaper?
You know what,
Not that it's a newspaper, I'm just curious.
I have not, addressed that. It really, I feel like each year will grow to something more. And this year, this was just the first step, and I didn't want to go too crazy with it because when you say $5
Oh, you get everything.
physicals and you only have 3 doctors to address the physicals.
It's specifically for the athletes.
Yes, but the physicals are, but the wellness fair is for everyone.
What's this?
And so some of the agencies that I've already had to commit to the wellness fair would be Lake Family Resource Center, Parent Planned Department of Social Services, Behavior Health. We have a couple of the gyms that are going to come called Run, and fitness. We have Zumba who wants to come. We have CCHAP who's going to come and give some information out. We also have Mendocino College that wants to participate and come, and they are going to set up some things, and they're also donating a blood pressure check for anybody. So you don't have to be a player to get your blood pressure checked. If you just want your blood pressure checked, they'll check your blood pressure while you're here. So it'll just be kind of a fun 5 to 8 thing.
How do you guys get the two together? That's a good idea, putting the two together.
Yes, I thought it would be a great marriage. So that is the part of the hub that is my update this time. I don't really have numbers, but we are working on things that are happening in the hub. Like, we're very excited because they replaced all of the trimming around our windows, and they're coming to paint, and they're going to be doing a lot of outdoor fixing up, but I think we're going to need some indoor fixing up. The roof, mainly right now. So if we get that going, that's going to be great. I'm also planning on this year, which I will be talking about the next coming up, but I would like to start parent cafes at the hub. And then I will be doing another section and piece with the Native American part. So would you like me to wait on that, or would you want me to combine that all? So, is there any questions for me, or anything that's...
The only thing I was thinking is that, I don't know how much anti-tobacco that we do with our sports teams. I know that we did with the baseball team, or maybe those. I don't see why we can't get that out to.
We actually have a booth for that.
Oh, perfect.
Yes, and they are setting up, and they brought us free cups and the little things to squeeze, and they have like for people who want to quit smoking, they have something for that, and then they have something, it's like free counseling to offer for people who are smoking, and then the people who are, they want to, of course, discourage the kids from smoking, so they have a section for that as well. So it's an so we do have that. Lake Family Resource covered quite a huge section, so they probably have about 7 tables that they're going to be setting up. That's going to cover a lot.
Are you doing it outdoors then?
Yes. So the goal of the project is that we will set up on the grassy area right here and have all of the booths, and then as the doctors have the children come in for their physicals, they will enter the physical into those treatment rooms and do their sports physical inside the room, and then we'll have the glove doors open, and we'll kind of just make a little loop so that they can go back out to the fair. The parents can wait, and we plan to have some games and some activities set up. I'm hoping to partner with Wellville and Frank Dickinson and Rachel, and I believe her name is Jen Dalton, for everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Lily.
Thank you.
Our second item would have been a student representative, which we do not have this evening. They're on summer break. So, school site council and classified employees report by Mary Ann. Booster Club, anyone from the audience in the Booster Club to speak? ULTA, which is our teachers union. Everyone is enjoying their summer breaks. 7, we have Dawn's reports here for transportation, alternative education, cafeteria, facilities, and maintenance. We have Dawn's monthly transportation report there. Sandy, administration, athletic director's report.
Not a whole lot going on past that. We had things called summer passing week for football. I think they're actually going to have a sort of a scrimmage over a team draft at the end, see how that works. There's also both gyms started up again for volleyball and basketball, as far as I know, they look requested. Summer school is officially over, though students are still working on it. They don't get credit for summer school, which would affect their GPA, but they can get the Fs or things fixed, rectified.
How many students did you have?
I think there were 19 students, and I checked on Monday. I didn't get to the entire list, but one finished in the time allotted, which and I just hope that everybody else finishes. I don't really mind that they didn't finish summer school. They're probably disappointed about their eligibility, but really the focus here is to get them credits that they lost in their classes. Other than that, there's suspensions or expulsions.
That's a nice
So
thing.
far, so good.
And of course, the fall schedule, all fall sports are getting ready to go. Many thanks to Roy Willis for being on this wellness. Taking that out. I'll make sure you only call out.
Thank you very much. Council report by Rebecca. Don't see her this evening. Business manager, Sue Mulhall, anything to report?
Not really much to report, just working on finishing last year and starting this year. So pretty much the normal stuff. Pat and I went and met with LCOE on Monday regarding our LCAP, and there were several different constructive criticisms of different things they want us to, change or make more clear. So we're going to be working on that next week, and so we'll probably be bringing you another
Revised.
LCAP at the, August meeting.
Thank you. Superintendent, Principal, Director of Special Education, Mr. Isom.
You should have your August calendar. Not too much going on. It's, we're only open Mondays through Thursdays during the summer. We do 4/10s, so we're closed on Fridays. Maintenance and operations are working extremely hard. Don't have a lot of projects this year. Just trying to make sure we're catching up on a few areas. One of our rooms in particular, Miss Boomer's room, when they I guess you call it refurbish the school, modernization 14 years ago. We've had continuous problems with the flooring, especially in this room. They put in a subfloor, and every year we replace tile, so we have a company coming in, hopefully in the next couple of weeks, to do that entire floor and try to keep it stable. Same problem we're having in the multi-purpose room. The board members that were on the board when it was modernized, they had to bring in quite a bit of backfill when they built the multi-purpose room. Keep your fingers crossed that it never rains enough where that building actually slides away. It does have a tremendous amount of ground water underneath it. And we usually are replacing hundreds of tiles in there every summer because of the dampness that comes through the floors in that building. So if you were to go in there right now, you would see quite a few of the areas where we've had to scrape all that away and try to reseal that floor again. floor that's painted and has designs and stuff as opposed to tile. We hopefully will be scheduling some paint, working on a couple of other areas. The gym's all done, taken care of, so it's ready to go. And I know the students have been using it already. Sigh of relief, we finally have a new phone system. So the phone system that they did or gave this district 14 years ago when they refurbished everything, finally we've been keeping it pieced together for about the last 5 or 6 years, and finally just got to a point where the parts that were needed no longer exist. The company that was part of this phone system no longer exists. So what we've done is we went to through our E-Write program, went to a system called VoIP, which is a voice over internet. So our phone systems aren't under AT&T any longer. They're not connected to a phone line. They're connected to basically your internet, and has a lot of capabilities for us to do a lot of different things with, much more cost effective for us. And it went online last Monday or Tuesday, or this past Monday or Tuesday on the 29th. So that seemed to go pretty well. The people that are using it right now are pretty happy with it. It was an extensive project. It wasn't something that was simple to put together. It included LCOE and Blaze King, their technology person, along with Gary Madison. The company that oversees this is based out of Utah. They're called Jive. So they met with Mr. Boyd, Mr. Madison, and Mr. King, and basically worked on putting the system together for about the last couple of months. And it's finally up and running online.
So each classroom has brand new phones, right?
All classrooms have brand new phones, all internet-based, all offices do. And basically, a person calling in would see no difference. But it really gives us some really nice features where if someone was to leave me, for an example, a voice message, and I was out of town, I get the voice message on my cell phone as well. So it interacts with all of my technology. It's just another way to get a hold of us again.
You get it on your email.
Yes, you do.
Which is really nice.
So
You sent it to email or box too.
the staff newsletter, or staff letter, is in the process of pretty much done. It's welcoming back the staff for next year. As you recall, through the process of the boards agreeing to unification in the 16-17 school year, this upcoming year, 15-16, is going to be probably for the lesser of words, I guess, about as action-packed as you're going to see it. We are going to be dissolving the district. In fact, we'll be dissolving 2 of them and opening up 11 months from now with the Upperlake Unified School District. Tremendous undertaking, a lot of give and take between the boards, the support of Brock, Falkenberg, and the county, to let the Upper Lakes unify and to move forward on the process. It'll go to the state board in November for the last final approval, and there will be an interim board that basically will go into place probably November, December period. During that time, myself and Valerie Gardner, the superintendent across the street, will in essence be working with 3 boards as we dissolve the 2 districts and we're ready to open up a single district. So a lot is going to be going on, not only with that, but basically moving into a K-12 system and working with teachers across the spectrum in K-12. One thing our teachers agreed to, because we had to level up and we had to even out the pay schedule between the districts, our teachers, the high school teachers, have agreed to a 185-day school year. So it's 180 days with students, and we went from 182 to 185, so we have 5 staff development days as opposed to 2. So it gives us a little bit more leverage to work in some areas of staff development that we didn't have in the past. So So we're in the process of putting those staff development days together and what we want to bring to our staff. So board members, if you have any suggestions on what you may want us to have as a topic, please feel free to email me and make sure we get it on our agendas for the Monday and Tuesday before we open up on August 4th. The student registration packet is, I think you have that. It's kind of nice because it's getting smaller,
Yes, it is.
believe it or not. It's probably gone from about 300 pages down to about 200. So we have just so you know, we run this past our attorneys, our legal counsel, and they make sure that everything that we are supposed to have in the packet is in there and approved by the school services group. And this is ready to go. All the packets have been made for registration week. Registration week is the last week of July. You're more than welcome to come. We start with our seniors on Monday, and we end up with our freshmen on Thursday, and a makeup day on Friday. Basically what it gives us an opportunity to register every student, get everything taken care of before the first day of school, and that way we can be in the classroom the first day of school and everything's started. And we have very few students in the office picking up registration packets and just filling them out, and they don't start school for 3 or 4 days later. So we've been doing it this way now for about the past 6 or 7 years. It works pretty well. So you're welcome to come to that. We're still working on concurrent ed courses. Sandy, Becky Toback, Rebecca Carter, and Mike Smith met with the college. We are drafting and putting together some additional concurrent ed courses on campus next year we're really excited about. One of them will be through hopefully our mock trial group, and we'll have a law enforcement concurrent ed course on campus along with the Spanish concurrent ed course. We are also, Becky Toback emailed me earlier today, there are probably, we hope, 7 or 8 online courses with the community college that our students will be taking here during the school year in this facility. This is our student center, and our students come in here. There's 2 periods during the day that we built into the schedule where they can come in and take college courses online, and Becky Toback's in here with them. So there's about 7 or 8 additional courses that we'll be presenting to them. Rebecca Carter is also working on a concurrent ed course that she will be able to teach our students. If you didn't know, Becky also has a multiple subject credential, so it gives her a little bit of flexibility in working with the community college and offering a career course in essence for our students. And we're looking at doing that with possibly all of our 9th graders. So we're really looking forward to that. I don't think I have anything else unless you have some questions.
Just nice to hear all the positive things that are happening. It's still happening.
Well, we're really excited about really the past year since we went to the conference in Chico with Steve Dixonbaugh from the community college. Mendocino College has really kind of really stepped up, and we've had developed a really nice relationship with them, predominantly through the Spanish class, but now being able to offer additional courses to our students. And we'll be working on this over the course of the next few years. It's our intent to really position students here that by the time they graduate from here, some of them could have 1, maybe even 2 years of community college outdoors. So we're close. It just takes a little bit more inroads. Part of the problem to deal with when you're dealing with a community college is the certifications that you need with the community college. Some of our teachers have those certifications. It's a master's degree, and some of them have, for example, Eric Boomer and Gary Madison don't need master's degrees. They can actually get certification because they're ROP teachers as well. And the career tech ed there's a lot of money that the governor put into career tech ed for community colleges to really start working with high schools and development programs. So that's really a lot to part of it.
Thank you.
And thank those four people for working so hard for us to Sandy and Mike and Rebecca and Becky. So it's a lot of work. I appreciate it.
Correspondence?
Yeah, we have a letter from Jim that we provided to you, but we just, and Jim spoke very highly of working on the development of the Native American books. Jim, thank you. We appreciate that. And so we provided that to the board. I did receive an email just a couple of days ago from Margaret Walsh. Margaret, as you remember, worked with the baseball athletes and the tobacco sensation and working with them. And she speaks very highly of the school in El Paso County, and she is thanking Mr. Cody for the amount of work that he put in and the number of our athletes that actually participated in the survey and worked with this group as they developed the national data regarding tobacco use and predominantly focused around smokeless tobacco. And it was very, very nice. Sandy, thank you for the time and energy that you've taken. That I know it was hours of working and putting this together. But of the 11 original athletes that participated in the survey, 7 of them completed everything, which it was a high percentage for them in terms of their survey. She mentioned that there were a number of high schools that were involved in the actual survey. There was over 40 California high schools participating in this center. So again, Sandy, thank you.
Is that just a one-time project?
It's a one-time.
It was a grant.
Yeah, it was the grant that they received to do it. I'm sure through the process it'll continue. And they've done it for a couple of years. It'll all be based on funding. If funding remains, and continue with the development of the data through the research that we're doing.
Thank you. Any other business to report on? Thank you. Moving to consent agenda, can I have a motion to accept the consent agenda?
I'll second.
Wanda, thank you, Val. Before we call for the vote on that, while we can't have open discussion about that, since it's within the consent agenda, I believe our junior cougars, is there anything you wanted to add to us or comments that we could have on that before we vote on the consent? Please.
First of all, I just want to say it's great to hear all the positive stuff going on with the school, with education stuff from my aspect of a kid coming in and said here. That's great. So, first of all, I want to thank everybody for our last year that we had. We had a tremendously great year. We had a lot of wrestlers, a couple win state. We had a girl go to state, a couple kids that are doing really, really good. My son's doing extremely well. So we just really want to thank you guys, first of all, and then we would also like to ask for the use of the facilities for the upcoming year. We just want to get everything ball rolling and everything in the right direction so we know where to go for this next year.
Thank you very much.
What you're not stating there is your son is ranked extremely high in the country for his wrestling skills. Yeah, Jamie's back there, just big fire. You should be very proud of his
Yeah,
hard work. and
most of the
dedication.
year was ranked number 1 in the nation.
Yes.
Finished the year ranked number 2 in the nation, and right now he's number 13 on Future Olympians. So,
And you know, he's just as sweet and kind, and nothing has gone to his head.
yeah, he's a good kid.
Thank goodness he has a mom.
Great community behind us, a lot of community support, which helps him believe in himself. You know, there's so many people around him that believes in what he is doing. It makes it where he doesn't doubt himself. So.
And he's a good role model for those other young students too. It's really nice.
For sure. Thank you. Call for the vote on that, Claudine.
Aye.
Wanda?
Aye.
Also vote aye. Consent agenda passes. Moving to subject 1 of our discussion and action items, approval or disapproval of memorandum of understanding between Sonoma County Superintendent of Schools as the LEA of the North Coast Beginning Teacher Program participating county offices of education and participating school districts and employee agencies. Do I have a motion?
I move we accept.
Thank you, Val. Thank you, Lauren. Questioning or discussion? None? Claudine, how do you vote? Wanda?
Aye.
Also vote aye. Subject number 2, which is the approval or disapproval of the 2015-2016 consolidated application for funding. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Claudine, thank you. That is our Con App, and we do have that in front of us, and it's included in the packets. Claudine, how do you vote? Wanda?
Aye.
I also vote aye. Moving to subject number 3, which is the approval, disapproval of Title I parent involvement policy and compact. Do I have a motion?
I move we approve.
Thank you, Val. Thank you, Lauren. It's our yearly parent involvement policy.
Just so important to the parents and board.
Especially going forward with the unified district.
Now, the programs we
We'll
have
see a
to
lot.
offer here too, I mean, it's something to offer in this district, so it's nice to see parent involvement, also community involvement too.
Claudine, how do you vote?
Aye.
One.
Aye.
I also vote aye. Let's move to subject number 4, which will be our approval or disapproval of recommendations of the ULHS task force, which was on truancy. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Thank you, Claudine. One. Do you have a hard copy of that? My internet's not going up.
She's got it.
Why don't you go ahead and just read that aloud so that we all have it in front of us. If you can't see the board, I can't see the board, so just look at it.
You can make it larger.
Coming from our ULH task force, which was constructed in efforts to battle truancy, to increase student involvement on campus, and for just the wellness of our attitudes and our cohesiveness on the campus. So this is the result of that. Their vision statement is to create a learning environment to encourage students to graduate. The task force finds that any means of improving the educational climate and family engagement at ULHS is a benefit to the students, their educational experience, and the attendance of the student body. We have identified first that an effort to make ULHS more welcoming for any and all students entitled to a free and appropriate education guaranteed by law can be expected to pay multiple dividends. The task force makes the following recommendation to create and sustain a Native American club. The task force bases its recommendation on the WASC self-study visiting committee report that was conducted on March 24th and 26th of 2014. There are 2 tribes that exist in the ULHS district: Abamotel, Homo Indian tribe, and the Robinson Rancheria of Homo Indians. Both tribes serve as 2 of the largest employers in the district through their gaming enterprises, and both continue to donate funds to the district for various reasons. The task force believes that a Native American club is vital at ULHS for the following reasons. A is to reduce potential truancy. B is to improve test scores for Native students who lag far behind their peer groups. C is reduce the number of Native students who feel that the continuation school is their final solution to their educational needs. D is to allow any interested teacher to share his or her experience and knowledge about other cultures in a non-classroom setting. E is to allow Native students from different states to share their culture and to inform the larger community of the non-Native cultural history prior to European contact. And F, validate the culture and experience of local Native students' families by acknowledging them as worthy of inquiry. Studies on Native education have concluded that Native children gain knowledge that is directly related to their own social reality and knowledge that will allow them to engage in activities that service them and valued by those they respect. The Native American Club will benefit Native students and create a more welcoming atmosphere for them and non-Native students who choose to join the club. The task force requests that a budget be set aside for the club to support some of the following activities. Students may come up with other activities. Number 1 is to provide an incentive to all new members. Number 2 is to provide food items for these meetings, also supported by parents. Number 3 is to fund local trips to museums, including Mendocino and Santa Rosa. Assist with fundraising to support an annual trip to a powwow held in another county, i.e. annual Stanford University powwow. Assist in bringing native speakers, historians, poets, musicians, writers, artists, etc. to the campus. Number 6, assist students in participating in local native events, i.e. big times, annual Indian Days, celebrations in September. And 7, assist with the purchase of supplies and materials for students to learn reading and other art or computer projects. The students will develop the club's vision statement, rules and bylaws, code of conduct, and other necessary guidelines as they see fit. The task force recommends that Lori Lewis, club coordinator, serve as primary advisor to the club. It is also recommended that a native tribal member volunteer serve as an advisor as well. The task force recommends that the school board adopt a formal resolution that cites the creation of the ULHS Native American Club for purposes of instilling a sense of welcome and pride and sustainability to the club. And I conclude with, please let us know if you require any further information. At this time, I invite those who wish to speak on the club, perhaps members of the task force or other attendees, if they would like to speak. Please do so.
Well, I would personally like to thank those that have given up their time and their talents and their skills as this has gone along. Because it's been, I think it's been over a year now. We've been meeting on Mondays. And several are in the audience, Judy Cox and Rich, and of course Lori Lewis and Wanda Clifford. So we started large, with a lot of folks, and then as you know, with anything, it comes back down to just a group of, and of course Jim and Olga, yes. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. And so it's been an exciting time of really focusing on the students at Upperlake High School. And we battered around a lot of different concepts. And I just wanted to restate that vision statement because it's to create a learning environment to encourage students to graduate. That's very, very brief, very to the point, but that's really what this is about. And my hope too is that other clubs will come along and that our students will be engaging in learning, like the cultural aspects of the Native American Club. And it's open to all students, so that's another great thing because there's so much history in this county that we live in. And it's been a lot of hard work, and thank goodness for Lori. She's got it together, and I think that, again, we looked at the WASC, their recommendation, and was to focus on the Native American population. So that's what we thought that's our first endeavor. And again, Wanda did great work, and we're excited. I'm excited. But I think that, and the other point that I'd like to make is that this is going to be the students. They're going to be the ones that, and Lori will fill us in on that, but they're going to be the ones that are going to get this going and keep it going and grow with it. So it's all about increasing self-confidence, increasing, of course, attendance, because that's how we began this about truancy and what to do to counter it, make sure that students want to come, and there's really a spirit of welcoming and exploration as they come up. So, Wanda?
Yeah, well, I just want to add that because we have a high Native population in our school, and now that we're unifying, that this includes the elementary. So I think it's just going to be really great for K-12. We taught K-12 on this day's club, and there will be activities, geared towards the younger. And I think it's everything what everybody has so far said. And but above all, the sustainability of it is really important. It's not some little fly-by-night club, not fly-by-night club. You know what I mean? Sometimes these things start and then they just end and nobody picks it up. And this will have a lot to do with how we they need our advice, their leadership. And we really are going to focus on the freshmen, and they will take it for the, and they will all feed off each other. And I think it's going to be exciting. I have to say that I jumped the gun, and we have a very important Native person who will be coming to Lake County, hopefully in the late fall. And she is Jerry Brown's top assistant. She is the tribal liaison. Her name is Cynthia Gomez, and she has already committed. And I told her about this Native American Club. I want her to, address this group of kids. It'd be like, maybe it could be assembly, I don't know, but everybody would be invited. But she is a very important person in California, and it's time for the, and she's just one person that we can connect with, the Native community can connect with, and bring in these top people, professionals and musicians, poets, whatever. And everybody's going to that. But our goal is to push our Native kids to become more confident and to take their learning more seriously and graduate. That's what it's all about. But not only that, but these kids, or whatever they do in their life, they will be here. This is their land. This is their tribe. No matter what happens, the tribes are here forever. And so they have a stake in this community. It's very important for them to pick up strong leadership skills so they can work within the tribes. I think that's really so with that in mind.
Thank you two ladies for working so hard on this. And everyone did that, but two of you, especially and the other members of those.
I do like to thank the task force in dealing with this, and Wanda, you in particular. For those of you who may not know, Upperlake High School was probably one of the top high schools in graduation in America this past year. I think that has a lot to do with your leadership and being, showing kids that being involved is important. I think we had 14 graduates in the Native American population. Very proud, very wonderful group this past year. But I think you being out there times, I think was important in this. So I appreciate it. Jim?
Yeah, hi, I'm Jim Steele, the county supervisor for this area, and I did drop in on some of the meetings and try to make as many as I could. I have a special affinity for the tribes because in 30 years of working in the environmental field, actually 40 years, I guess, if I'm honest, and working in environmental fields, I had a special appreciation for the Native tribes that came here before the settlers from the east. The California landscape has changed tremendously over time. It's changed tremendously because it was tended by the local tribes. And in fact, you had a sense of where you were from by virtue of understanding the land. And when the tribal members came from one tribe to another, they learned how that other tribe tended their land. There was quite a difference between them. As a scientist, that was the first thing that I tried to study was who came here first and what did they do and how they relate to the landscape. So I had an appreciation for a book that came out, I think a couple of years ago. It was called Tending the Land. And it was a book by a woman that went around and looked at all of the records that she could find with regard to how the tribes actually modified the landscape. They used fire, they used techniques of thinning, they used fire as a big tool, but they used techniques of thinning and useful propagation of plants in order to have plants in places where they could use them. Now, the wilderness, as we know it today, was not the wilderness that it was back in the days of the tribes. The western settlers came here, there were large trees. If you look at it now, there's a lot of undergrowth in those trees. It's there because we've kept fire out. Had we took a lesson from those that were here before us, we would have known that some fire from time to time was very good for the forest and cleaned it out. So there was a lot of lessons to be learned. So I hope that the tribal club will pick up that information and let people know as they join the tribe what was here before. It's a sense of place. It's a sense of belonging. I'm 7 generations in California from Trinity County, and we had Native Americans that were part of the family, and we were part of their family. And we talked about a long history that the Steeles had in the local area. Wow, 7 generations, my aunt said. Ours is only 300. Which made me think that's right, you know. I guess I'm the one that came in late. So they have a lot to teach, and you should not just listen to what we have here in the school that comes from the outside. We should listen to something in the school that comes from the local area. And there is no greater people to listen to than those that were here before. And they've been rebuilding their culture, and I really support that. The more they rebuild their culture, the more we all have a chance to learn about how they interface with the landscape and how they interface with the religion. I know there's different religious beliefs amongst the tribes that were here. I didn't realize that until I was talking to them and finding out how to interface with their gods. So there's a lot to learn. And what this will bring to the students is the sense that people are all different, and actually the whole world is full of tribes. We're losing languages every year, 150 a year. We're losing tribes. We're melding into a big pot, and people are traveling all over carrying their diseases and their bad habits as well as their good habits. But the thing is, we're losing all of that history. And so I applaud all of you for looking at tribal culture in a club format that will give all the students a chance to experience things. Thank you for allowing me to say that.
I just want to add to what Jim was talking about, the environmental issue. Each tribe here in Lake County has an environmental program, and Rita, she's an environmental director. She's previously served as environmental director for Robinson. She's now in Scouting. But the things that they do is just, it's just amazing. And so this club, will connect with these, what do you call yourself, the Intel Environmental Resource Consortium. And now they, not just Lake County, but includes Mendocino County as well, the tribal environmental directors there. So there's a lot for the kids to connect to in this county that will, give them the seriousness of what they're supposed to be here at the time.
Can I add to that one?
Sure.
The county actually is, as much as anything, joining with the tribes, because they're kind of out in front, looking at the environment as a value, whereas the county looks at it a little differently. And so that's one of the reasons that I try to hook up with the county, to maybe look at it a little differently, because their values are not the same as those that were here before. Nobody knows. And so trying to get us to link up with the tribes is a very high value.
Right. Well, you have that link already. It's called government-to-government relationship.
That's right.
And these young people will be learning about what that means and how important that is.
Thank you, Jim. Others from the public? Brock? Brock and Chris?
Brock Falkenberg, County Superintendent of Schools. And I want to make sure I preface this by saying I don't want to contradict past statistics. So I have not looked at these statistics for success, graduation success for Native American youth in the last couple of years. But historically, around this county, I'm not looking at Upperlake specifically, Native American kids have not graduated at the same rate as other kids, particularly Native American males. So I want to commend the task force for really taking a look and openly addressing this issue that we're reaching out to serve that tribal community. And there may be a myriad of reasons as to why the tribal kids are not succeeding at the same rate. And many of those reasons are outside of the school's control. But that doesn't mean that we shouldn't work harder to help these students succeed and graduate at the same rate as other kids. So I, as county superintendent, want to make sure that I weigh in and throw my support behind this initiative. So thank you.
Thank you. My name is Chris Parchita. I work with the Lake County Behavioral Health Department. specialists, the tribal communities. I'm here to absolutely support the creation and development of the club. And especially in the format that you suggested, simply because of its sustainability in the institution. It becomes a part of the institution. I know a few years back when we did a group here, one of the things that was a challenge for us was sustainability. And how do you say it? Good lesson learned is that the creation and development of a club like this would certainly have a lot of support to that sustainability effort. Just the idea of inclusion in an institution is critical to people feeling like they belong in that institution. And a lot of times, especially for, it's funny you mentioned American Indian males. I'm from the Big Valley tribe across the lake. There's 550 members, half of them are men. 90% of those men, my cousins and relatives, have spent time in a federal or state institution. And the dropout rate is huge. It's above 70%. And so I know the value of feeling like I belong somewhere. And the creation and development of the club here is really a big step. It's huge. And especially when just think, the school board is talking about a club. They're talking about creating and moving it forward. I like the way that they've designed the activities and services for the young people that will participate. I think cultural identity is huge. It's important. It's passing values not only of family but community. And I think that including those kinds of cultural learning experiences for all students, not just tribal students, is critical to the success of people talking about each other's culture in a good way, rather than how we see on Facebook and in the news. I think sharing culture is, I would say, it builds pride and confidence in all cultures. And so, again, I'm here tonight to simply support you in your efforts here. So thank you for your time.
I have a letter from Eddie Randall, AJ, yes, and it says, to whom it may concern, the Robinson Rancheria Citizens Business Council have been notified that Lori Lewis may be considered to advocate and work with the Native American youth at the high school. There is no better person in our opinion than Lori to advocate for our children of Robinson Rancheria. In the restructuring of our education department, our children have attended the hub in which she oversees. At our local Indian community event, she is sought out by parents, children, and officials knowing and witnessing this relationship that she shares with our Native youth. As an African American woman, we feel she is of great benefit to our tribe and an objective advocate to refrain and minimize any specific tribal agenda. We feel her interest is solely for the children and their posterity in education, life, and personal safety. She would provide a forum for children to take pride and feel empowered by their Indian affirmation and representation. On behalf of the tribal community, the tribal council, and elders, we fully support Lori Lewis as Native American advocate. And they're indicating if we have any questions, we can certainly refer to them. And I have to, continuously commend Lori for her activism for all students. And I think that with the creation of the hub, just tremendous things have happened. And your ability to really influence parental involvement has been just immense. So that's something that's very important. Engaging the family and this new club will be the students really stepping forward and being, out there and partnering with others to make this grow. And I think you have, she's she's got it all covered, I'll tell you. She's very, very good.
So I had to stop turning on a little bit, my printer stopped. So I'm going to ask if you guys can share this. He's actually there. I know. So, strange. I'm going to give one or a couple to pass around. There's like, so what I worked on, what I'm trying to work on, I'm just going to read the first part, but this is actually a draft and an outline of a guide what I would like for the students to embrace or to go by. I started with kind of like a club constitution, and the preamble is the organization is exclusively for charitable, educational, and cultural purposes. As an organization, we strive to provide better communication among Native American students, Native communities, high school truancy, the high school community, and the broader public. Within the organization, we plan to develop student initiative, sorry, I'm so nervous, and student-run outreach and retention projects geared toward the success of Native American students achieving higher education. And what I did was basically try to outline kind of goals, and I'll read some of the goals. Providing cultural learning opportunities for Native American students, providing a support system and networking opportunities in the community, recruiting and retraining Native American students at Upperlake High School, promoting equality and fairness through cultural sharing, increasing campus versatility through community involvement, creating awareness about Native American issues, working together on educational goals, and cultural preservation for all tribes and groups represented in the club and community. What I'd like to do too is that within our the hub, we did something called, we have like a youth board and we have a parent board. And within that board, we actually treat it very much like the board here. It's very formal. We meet on a weekly basis or sometimes twice a month, depending on, well, parents twice a month. It's a little bit hard to get them there, but for the kids, they come in on a weekly basis. They vote and they learn about the bylaws. They learn about how to run the hub. They actually do run the hub. I'm just there as a support system, and that is my goal with the Native American Club. I would like to have a student leader who is going to be, we'll have a president, we'll have a president, a vice president, a secretary. We would also have a treasurer, and then we would have elections and committees and advisors. And each one of the students would hold these positions, and then they would be responsible for the commitments or the job duties that fall underneath there. And I would be there just as a guide to help guide them, but they would be planning their own future and how the club would proceed. I did take the liberty to try to go in and just research all up and down California, so I don't know how much money we're going to have, but I would like to see the kids taking trips and visit other tribes. I want them to go to the BIA. I want them to understand what California Indian manpower is. I want them to be able to see it in a view of where there is no, I don't know what to kind of call it, but prejudice, but just being able to just embrace like, this is what we have, this is what we have to offer, this is some of the information I'd like to bring in as many people as possible to teach about all Indian culture and taking them to the dances and to the roundhouse and talking about sweats and just whoever and whatever. I don't know exactly, well, that's not true. I do have a vision in my head of how I'd like the city to play out, but I'm going to try very hard to keep my vision out of it and really let the kids mold it. And hopefully some of the things that I will be able to sneak in there is that they will connect or have a place to connect, and therefore they will want to come to school and work on tourism and that, and they will have a safe place to go. And this is a place where they can come in and just be able to relax and talk or even address issues. I would like to do things like setting up tutoring for them, or even working on, I have Nick, who is my assistant, and he is a credentialed high school teacher, and one of his jobs at Vallejo High School was to train kids on how to take the casting. So these are things that I'd like to all incorporate into the I do a good job, and I hope
Right, and
Right.
Lori also shared with us in our meeting that you already have a good crew.
I do.
With parents and students, and I'm really excited about that.
It is. It's kind of unique because of the hub, I've already started, like I do hub, I go out and do home visits, and I'm already connected with the students. And even this year, being that EJ is my partner, the students recognize me, and so they know who I was, or they know who I am, and they're already coming in and they're already meeting. And so I feel like I already have a group who is ready to take off in this. I don't feel like it's going to be hard to recruit students. So, and I do believe that we're going to have a lot of parent support, and that is my goal, is to combine and bring the parents in, so that the parents are working with the students, and really just going at what we would call family engagement. I would like to bring the engagement piece back to the school, and I really want to do that. I want to tie that engagement, and I want to instill that this is their school, and they're a part of it, and I want them to be proud here, and I want them to take some ownership in this, and this is their group. So I'm hoping that all of that will just tie together, and if you guys vote on it, and it's approved, and everybody agrees, then I plan to work as hard as I possibly can to make everybody's dreams and visions come to life.
Lori, as you were talking, at a couple side conversations, I think what's critical is the education piece. Clubs come and go, and sustainability, as Chris talked about, is very difficult. All types of clubs are generated through under the umbrella base, and part of the reason they're difficult to maintain is the financial aspect. So in this thing that we call LCAP, which is our local control plan, we might be able to, as we start this year, take a look at the LCAP, interject this concept into it so we can create a funding stream. Because when you ask, you got to be very careful when you develop these, because if you have 10 other clubs that then want a funding stream, it creates some difficulties. And so I think one thing that I think would be critical for us on is to also sit down with our students and say, okay, let's try to, because they already exist, it's not like we're going to recreate a Native American course on campus, an actual class that you take credit, the difficulty with that is the certification of a teacher who might be teaching Native American studies. So maybe we sit down with some of the local tribes and see if there is somebody that we can then try to go to the county office of ed and see if we can figure out some ways around some of the state issues and really put together a course that leads into that leadership concept and is open to any student that wants to learn Native American culture in a variety of curriculum topics. And you have your guest speakers and you have a variety of people that come in. So, I'm open to sitting down and let's take a look at that. See what we're on.
Yeah, on the funding, it wasn't really requesting more than an amount because we didn't really know how this would work either. But we don't want to take the fundraising effort too much away from the kids.
No.
So it wasn't meant to fund this big, huge thing here. It wasn't that way at all. It was to begin the club and to provide where, if they're lacking some, few bucks here or there.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
So
Of course,
because I know that the tribes are going to step in. And as long as the school supports the kids and then the tribes to support the club, and so I think that really is where it is because there are a lot of people who step up and who can provide, to learn about tribal government. Because the tribes do hire many non-Indian people in these jobs that they hold because they're professional positions. And so because our Native population don't hold a lot of degrees, we don't get the jobs. Okay, so this is, this is why this is important. It's just an impetus for these kids to look at that, look into tribal government,
think it's impactful. It's not just impactful for next year in the club starts. It's impactful
We
when
want to come to start
those,
this fall.
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That
When
it's
you
not
saw it,
just,
when you
it's
said
not
next
just
year.
impactful
Yeah,
for this
yeah.
year, but, 15 years down the road,
Exactly.
when those students are returning, from their college degree programs.
I was president of the American Indian Club at Upperlake, and so was Armenia. And, we did big things, that nobody thought we could do. I put together a big Indian music festival, and, we did really big things. We even had brought in, we had an ethnic day. And this is something the club could sponsor on campus too, where all the kids brought in their cultures. It was just amazing what came out of it. And so there's no end, we want them to focus more on, the school campus and important people out there who can come in
And I think it does open up the whole aspect of culture. And my dream is that it would go on, that maybe a Spanish club and, Asian club, whatever. There's so many possibilities. And I think that this is what we kind of, we were just all, we'd meet, we'd be kind of all over everywhere, but this seems to kind of encompass what we're looking toward for our students. That they are the main goal and objective. And as we say, that real simple, create a learning environment and that will encourage them to graduate. That's very simple. And
I just want to say too that we want the club to be open to all members of the children. Even though it is a learning environment, it's more of, I think, an enrichment program. It's to just enrich the lives and to just bring back that engagement, to have the students participate, to see them feel like they're part of it so that they can have that tie, that connection, and to bring a friend with them so that their friend can even learn, their feelings and their emotions. Really my goal, and again, I just want to stress is to bring in people who will be providing the information, but trying to target the information that the students are interested in. So if, they're interested in environmental, I will look for environmental people and ask them to come in and have that segment there. And if they're interested in identifying the culture, like they want to learn how to do Indian tacos or fry bread, or to bead or to do basket weaving, or to make plastic, or to do drumming, or whatever the case may be. There's just, the list is endless, but I'm hoping to bring in somebody who would be an expert, who would donate their time, and to just let me persuade them to give us, because we're probably looking at about an hour time, and I'm not sure that how many days or how that works, and that's something that we would have to probably all consider and discuss. But those are the things that I'm trying to do, and making it in a modular way so that people can come and join and be a part of it on a routine basis. But to have somewhat of a structure, because we did that at the Hub, and I felt like it was extremely successful. We actually, even with the sports physical last year, we were able to do very little funding, and this year again, very little funding, and it's coming together nicely. So I'm hoping that will help. So I don't know if that helps any, and I would be willing to support anything to make the longevity of the club, because that is the ultimate.
Awesome. Thank you. Any other comments from the vote?
I just have one thing. I am so grateful that Lori stepped up to take this leadership role, and I'm hoping that quite possibly there might be some advisors within our faculty that might want to be so inspired and create, because they do need an advisor. So that would be.
And that would be K-12 faculty.
Yes,
We get
yes.
closer to unification. I'd like to see K-12 level.
Right.
The thing I was just asking Pat, and the thing that we need to encourage for the club as far as its longevity and continuing from year to year is that associate student body was what Pat was referring to as far as ASB. There are set bylaws that govern what can happen on a student body or within the student body without an out-and-out command, say, from the board. So the board doesn't have any purview on clubs. We can definitely take the recommendation and put that in motion. The clubs themselves have to follow those bylaws in order to be on campus and be welcome. That there cannot be, also dissuade some clubs from forming that maybe we would view as, we definitely don't want that club, but there are certain laws that they have to follow. So again, we're working with Pat, making sure that we're following those so that we don't look at any other issues going on in the future. I think it's a fantastic idea. We want to make sure that we execute it properly so that 6 months down the road, there isn't some negative consequence because we misformed the club or not.
So could we have a copy of those ASB bylaws?
I'll give it to
Are they
you.
on the website?
I'll have to check.
Oh, okay.
Mary Ann Matthews is very advised.
It's totally like
So that's awesome. That's great. I definitely commend the task force for the long work that it took. I'm very satisfied with the recommendation as a result of the task force. I think that that's identifying a need. I think that I love that you included the WASP review as well. Again, somebody looking at our school through another pair of eyes that don't go here on a continual basis, say that this is something that we need to address within our student body, both for the culture within the Native American community and the culture as the school as a whole. That's a fantastic step. So with no further comments or questions, we'll move to the vote on that, which we can take. Claudine, how do you vote on the recommendation? Wanda?
I,
I also vote aye. Thank you very much for the audience participation as well in this discussion. Board member discussion unification. Any board members to comment or further discuss that?
we're on the calendar, but we're going to make it happen.
A lot of that
So,
calendar.
excited about that.
Well, Rob is here. What is the application process? Getting confused.
For the new board.
Want to comment on that?
So we can
Is
just do
it
board.
possible to?
Before you run?
I don't know the exact date off the top of my head, and I'm really not going to ask for an application. I'll probably ask for a letter. Because
Okay.
I believe it was around that September 15th timeline that we would make that announcement. A call for interest in serving on the committee.
Any thoughts or comments from your board on their public hearings?
We have not had an opportunity to meet since
Okay.
those public hearings, so I'll see comment on it.
Okay, thank you. I think that when we see that list of stuff that we reviewed today, what's interesting to me is just the quantity of work that needs to go into it. Quality of company making the right decisions, and staffing decisions, things like that. But the thing that strikes me the most is just quantity and volume of work. If we live our lives and we're a board member and we have jobs or we have family and we have involvement programs that we're in, imagine doing what we do in a heightened sense of timeline, let's call it. And I think that as a board member, I'm committed to making sure that we have the resources necessary to complete that process in a timely manner, professional manner, whether that's whatever that is as far as staffing. And I would expect that you would communicate to us, hey, we need some help on this, or hey, we need to team up with this, or is there anything that we can do? Do we need to bring in someone just to type? Do we need to bring in someone just for the purpose of editing, documents and things like that? If that helps the process, I definitely don't want Pat typing. He types bad anyways, but
We weren't going to say that,
I
but
don't want to take that resource and put it on to typing. So let us know about that.
we don't want to overwhelm you. We want to have to.
Well, I think my greatest concern is the timeline. As I told you in closed session, it's 11 months away, and there are some major hurdles. And I think it's critical, absolutely critical, that both boards put the interim board in position to be successful. Because it's all about the kids that are coming through the system. No matter who's sitting on a board, no matter who your superintendent is, you got to see past that. You got to see, okay, we got X, Y, and Z to do in this short time. How do we do that in the best interest of kids?
think we've already said that financially we've shown that, I don't view our budget anymore as a single school. I think that we view the budget as contributing to the unified district as well. So if it means an expenditure on our part, I don't expect the conversation to go, oh, well, we'll spend 50% and they'll spend 50%. I think that that's a fruitful type of discussion too. So.
But there will come a point, I don't know, if it will be, I don't know what that point is, but there will come a point that the new board will have expenditures that they vote on and decide for. And what will happen is the two districts will loan them essentially the money to pay it, and then when the new district is formed and they have the resources, they will then make the two districts whole, just the same way that there will be expenditures that the two dissolving districts will have after they dissolve, for instance, their final audit, that the new district will have to pay for, and they'll have to be a set of receivables and payables. We've talked, Becky and I have talked about this, we know, we basically have an analyze.
Okay, you got it.
Yeah, the community's excited. It's nice to see parents excited. Just they'll stop you at the post office and they'll start talking about how wonderful this is and how excited they are about their kids having a K-12 program. So it's nice to hear the positives.
It's an opportunity.
It is.
I was at a diabetes workshop at the Upperlake this afternoon, and I was telling a little bit about this and the unification. This is really good. This, they're more excited on the elementary level. And that's the, to me, that's the key. They're really excited about it because they want to see, that's where it begins.
That's where you lay the groundwork for successful high school.
Exactly.
Well, I hope as well as would be that the parents that showed up to the unification meetings will continue to take an active role in, if they have questions, pose the questions and get the answers. So community is really important to this whole process and transition.
Further discussion on the unification? Move to board member comments, starting at the table.
Okay, I am just elated that everything went so well this evening. That was a great opportunity to begin to really take a look at culture and what it means and how very important it is to this country, community, as well as this county. So I'm really elated. Again, I can't commend Lori enough. She stepped up and said, I'll be the advisor. We knew that we had to have an advisor, and she's got it. I wish we could clone several of her as great and wonderful. But the senior support services were there on the corner of Main and Medicine Hall, and we have an exercise program on Wednesdays, and we're starting an art class. So any of the seniors that want to become creative and express themselves come. And the food project will take place, and I believe it's the 21st. And I thought about changing the time because of the heat. It was just so hot the last time. I brought water, but that would be hard because they just know they're there before. Sometimes I get there at 2:30 and they're ready. So it would be too large an undertaking to change the 4 o'clock hour. But the numbers are growing, and poverty is right there. So it's challenging, but always, when it's done, it's like, yes, we met the needs of many. The task force will meet again once a month it's the next 13th, yeah. And so we'll jump on to another issue, climb another mountain, I guess, or something that, yeah. So we'll see.
I'm preparing for my trip to Texas next week, next Tuesday. Not
Thank
all
you.
but this is how much I really want to see my granddaughter, so it's going to be a great road trip.
And you're joining involved.
Yeah, that's it, yeah. But, I've been really involved in the Diabetes Action Council, and on Friday we're traveling to meet with a group that has the doing the same thing. They were the first ones to do this. And that's all about engaging the people who have diabetes to manage their diabetes. And so, so this council, this action council, that's what our goal is to get people to take care of themselves. Because our people really, we just had 3 elderly guests just within 2 weeks, this last 2 weeks. All 3 had diabetes. And so that's one of the top things. And now I'm treasurer of the senior support services.
You couldn't say no, could you?
We had to. So I'm really happy to be involved in that senior support services because people need to be reminded that there are many, many seniors in this area who are isolated and who cannot get out. And that food giveaway is just, I helped Claudine one time, and it's just amazing, so the people, the needs of this community.
Oh,
So,
I need to also say that we do CalFresh
Oh,
sites.
yeah,
Yeah,
we do.
really, that's a wonderful opportunity for those students. They can use them at the farmer's market or go to like senior support facility that has meals that you send in the cards. So we're trying to get that word out to the community.
Thank you. Val?
Thank you two ladies for working so hard. I appreciate it. Not a lot to say except 31 years ago, I bought a house in this town because I liked the community. I loved the schools. My children both went to the schools, graduated from these schools, are very successful. And I knew then that this school had a lot to offer, and as we keep adding more and more and more, it gets better and better and better. So it's so nice to see that we're still doing that. We're still improving, providing more programs for our students. And I'm proud to be part of that club.
My first meeting of Upperlake High School, the front of the whole building was draped in biscuing because it was part of the, what do you call it, a reformation or a rebuilding or modernization. That was what it is. And decided not to do on it and run to the board until after my kids were gone. So I waited my son's senior year just because I wanted to be able to, not make a decision based on what would be good for them, but for the good for the other kids. My son was like, Dad, if I were a teacher, they didn't want to have that conversation. But it has been a very exciting 4 years. I feel like we've accomplished a lot, and I reminisce on my 4 years. Because on Monday, I went to the registrar's office and we put it in the I will, for sure. But it's just, it's been interesting for us to acknowledge social groups, whether that's, what that is in the Native American, I think that's awesome. You guys have done that. I think it's brave to do that. I think that I'm always the practical guy in the group, Pat, so I think that we...
you can be a part.
I mean, with just the group that's in the room, I think that I'm worried about the other student body's reaction to the Native American Club that is backed financially by the casinos and things like that. And so just know that as a board member, I won't tolerate any of that kind of reverse or anti-bullying that would come from folks not involved in the club. So that's okay. So, I mean, in addition to what we have for our regular handouts, if we can have something available to those students who want to bemoan not having their own cultural club, and what they can do to take the steps necessary to create that club for themselves and then identify with both.
That is the intent.
Yeah, and that's the purpose of the club. I think I echo your concerns only because I think those concerns come from people who don't take an opportunity to educate themselves on cultural differences and to embrace the cultural differences as, we see it in the news every day, constantly, so I can't imagine just the social media that students deal with on a minute-by-minute basis on these types of topics. And that's why I think, I really support a cultural type of class that our students have an experience a lot of cultures through education. And we all know how education is. Sometimes it's not built on fact. And I think it's important when you have a course like that, and your guest speakers really shed light on factual information. Because you know, sometimes students believe everything is social media. And that is always going to be the balancing act that a district has to play, or a school site, or an administration. That's awesome.
Oh, I was just going to say that the Native American groups in the county donate to many, many of our clubs already.
Also something that I thought about, and I want to make sure that we're prepared to answer that in quantifiable answers, whether it's donations, sporting equipment, or other groups, and things like that. Very, yeah.
Not to mention the county, fire districts, the police, sheriff's department.
Sports. Thank you. Anyone else? No? All right. Do I have a motion for adjournment?
I move we adjourn.
One second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. 8:03.
That was warm in here.
It just got warm.
It's like, whew,
We have a CD that says,
Stop.
the air turns
Here.
up.
oh, it gets.
It's not the two, it's just.
They told us to conserve